everyone, my name is Vanessa, and if you can't already tell by my chef lights, I love food. I just wanted to make a quick little video not only introducing myself, but also introducing this channel that I'm working on creating, all about basically my love for food, food science, nutrition, and dietetics. So a little bit about me, I go to Johnson & Wales University, which is an accredited university for hospitality as well as food service, and I'm currently finishing up my associate's degree in culinary arts, as well as my new bachelor degree in dietetics and applied nutrition. Why did I pick Johnson & Wales? And honestly, that's a great question because I didn't necessarily pick it out of knowledge, if I'm being honest. I've always loved food, but I have never worked in a restaurant, and I kind of just signed up and decided to go across the country because in my mind, I could either be an accountant and hate it for 40 years, and then do something completely out of the ordinary and hopefully find my passion. Or what if I tried to find my passion first and then work my way to a more practical degree or job, which is actually what I ended up doing, which is very cool. And when I tell people my bachelor degree name, I get a lot of blank stares. And to be honest, I wasn't super informed about it when I originally found out about the major. So I just want to explain a little bit as to what being a dietitian is and what being a nutritionist is, just so you guys can get a general idea. All dietitians are nutritionists, but not all nutritionists are dietitians. So a lot of people can go through college, become a nutritionist, they can advise people about food, especially when it comes to athletes, school lunches, product development. It's a very versatile degree. And dietetics can do all of that, but in addition, they also have to have a license for a registered dietitian, which requires them to pass a national exam, over 1,200 hours of supervised practice, and as of recently, they are required to get a master's degree. So for me, personally, I think it's really funny that I came to a culinary school and hopefully I will leave being a doctor. Nutritionists can advise people about certain food plans and like how food affects your body, but only dietitians are allowed to diagnose specific treatment plans for people in hospitals where maybe they have a very specific dietary restriction and they might need help professionally to have a diet that will improve their life quality. You can commonly see nutritionists, as I said, in school lunch programs, any type of community setting, sports nutrition, especially with dietetics clinical settings, and product development, as well as companies. Even McDonald's needs a dietitian, which is really cool. So my love of food actually deterred me away from the dietitian world at first. Like when I first came to Johnson & Wales and I thought about nutrition or dietetics, I thought about that one aisle in the grocery store where it's all like the 0-calorie sweeteners, no sugar this, no sugar that, and I just thought like, how can someone possibly enjoy food when you're taking it all away? And this kind of concept that a diet is something that's restrictive is completely normal, and it's actually in the dictionary definition of a diet. So a diet, there's two definitions. One that is a food or drink that's regularly consumed by an individual or a group. And the second definition is restricting oneself to small or special kinds of food in order to lose weight. Now, that whole restriction part, especially as someone who loves food, I wasn't really crazy about that, and actually I kind of actively stayed away from the dietetics and nutrition programs for a couple years because I thought nutrition and diet is all about taking away the thing that I love. But now that I've gotten older and now that I've actually become more informed about my major, I realized that a diet is really just a word. Everyone has a diet, whether it's healthy or not, that's up for debate, but elephants have a diet. Fish have a diet. We have a diet. Everyone has eating habits, but it doesn't necessarily have to be something where we need to take a bunch of stuff away in order to be healthy. Something that really kind of changed my mind about nutrition is kind of these four, pillars that we talk about a lot in class, which is that nutrition is based off of adequacy, moderation, variety, and balance. And so these four things I think are super cool because it's not about making people miserable, and it's not about people having to sit down and eat hospital food just to feel like they're doing something good for their body. And the example that one of my chefs always gives is a fish and chip plate, because if you think about it, fish and chips, is a fried fish with just starch, but there's no vegetables on the plate, which obviously add fiber and can be really healthy for your diet. So making that plate healthy might not be, oh, let's just give them one small piece of fish and like 2 fries. Why don't we add a slaw? Why don't we make it a sandwich? Or why don't we add a salad with a bunch of greens? It doesn't necessarily have to be about taking away, but can also be about adding things that have very good nutritional value for us. And if you don't like vegetables, which I know some of you watching don't because I've cooked for you and you specifically request no greens, totally fine. But I also hope with this channel that I can find ways to incorporate vegetables in ways that you might not think of. Rather than just eating a raw carrot, we can do things like blend it in mac and cheese. Just small things like that so that we can adjust and adapt a recipe and an item to make it more healthful for you. And so obviously, I'm still in school, so I just want to say that anything I say is not accredited medical advice. Genuinely, what I want this channel to be about is my love for food. And I think that food is super interesting because not only is food something that we consume, it also has a lot of effect on our mental health. And I actually just started reading this book. It's called Why You Eat What You Eat. And it even talks about the strong correlation between neuroscience and food. And I think that's super cool. And I just have so many little fun facts that I want to share with people. And I hope that you will find it interesting as well, because I personally geek out on this type of stuff. If you know me at all, you know I'm always talking about food. So there's gonna be a little bit of food science in this channel, a little bit of how to adapt more lifelong healthy habits. So when I first came to Johnson & Wales, another important thing I wanna note is that I just really wanted to help people. I wasn't sure how food and helping people were necessarily gonna correlate. But what I realized is, there's this really bad stigma around dieting and food and healthy food and what even is that, and is one thing that's healthy for one person necessarily going to be something that's healthy for all? And that's something that I feel like people don't have a lot of education on today, and I think that's something where I'm very privileged now to have this type of information, and I would really like to share it with you guys and find a way for you to make small changes in your life. I want to help you. And hopefully you guys can help me too by simply finding this interesting. That's my introduction. There's going to be a little bit of food science, as I mentioned, fun facts, experiments, college meals, a little bit of everything for everyone. And at any point, obviously, if you guys have a topic that you would like me to cover or a topic or a question that you might have, I have a lot of really great resources at the school available, and I will try my best to get you the answers that you want. So without further ado, welcome to my channel, and I hope you guys enjoy.